committed to doubling non-U.S. exports to the world for Canada. We've worked for Canadian prosperity for many decades. We're delighted and honored that the Vice Premier and you are here tonight with us to talk about the important agreements that you've reached today. So we look forward to hearing more details and to your speech. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Canada's 24th Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Mark Carney.
Thank you, Graham. Merci beaucoup. Je tiens tout d'abord à remercier le président Xi et le Premier ministre Li de m'avoir invité en Chine et de l'accueil chaleureux que nous ont réservé au cours des 2 derniers jours. Vice Premier He. Sorry. We are honored and grateful, and I personally am honored and grateful that you could join us this evening. Your time is so precious, and that you're dedicating it to Canada-China relations is very auspicious. I want to recognize Olivier Desmarais, Graham, the team at the Canada-China Business Council for your leadership in bringing together, look at this room, this remarkable room together. And I know that the past few years in our bilateral relations have been challenging, at many points uncertain. And it's in the face of that uncertainty that the leaders in this room and the organizations that you represent, you have stayed resilient and focused, and you've helped bring us to this moment. Because when channels between governments had narrowed, it was often business leaders, leaders in the educational sector, broader leadership, who continued to build new possibilities and partnerships. So thank you. Thank you for your leadership and your persistence. Et c'est tellement important parce que notre monde connaît actuellement l'une des plus importantes transformations économiques depuis des décennies. Il s'agit d'une rupture et non d'une transition. Et nous devons être lucides quant à cette réalité. Parce que la nostalgie n'est pas une stratégie. Nostalgia is not a strategy here. In the face of global change and uncertainty, Canada is building at home, catalyzing massive new investment and diversifying and deepening our partnerships abroad. We're moving at pace in order to get results. Nous avons déjà établi une douzaine de nouveaux partenariats économiques sur 4 continents. Nous avons conclu un nouvel accord commercial avec l'Indonésie. Nous avons lancé des négociations commerciales avec l'Inde, la Thaïlande et les Philippines et accéléré les travaux pour finaliser cette année notre accord de libre-échange avec les pays de la NAS. We've secured new investment partnerships around the world, including a commitment from the UAE to invest $70 billion in Canada. Tomorrow I'll be traveling to Doha with the ministers, and we'll be meeting with the Emir, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, as well as business and investment leaders to discuss further new opportunities for partnership. And we're doing this because we want to build big things with nations and companies, with risk takers and builders like you in this room, leaders and innovators who are as ambitious as we are. Now, our trade, deepening our relationships means, above all, engaging properly, respectfully, pragmatically, ambitiously with China. China is the world's second largest economy. It is the largest contributor year after year to global growth, contributing over the last year 1/3 of global growth. It's our second largest trading partner. It's Canada's third largest investor. Across Canada, $20 billion a year in wages, 400,000 jobs, farmers in the prairies, manufacturers and engineers in Ontario, miners in Quebec, harvesters in Atlantic Canada, all depend on trade with China. Two-way trade amounts to nearly $120 billion each year. Canada now has set the goal of doubling our exports to China by the end of this decade. And we need you to help with that. There's so much to build on this relationship, so much to gain. Et cette semaine, le Canada et la Chine entrent dans une nouvelle ère de collaboration pragmatique. Une nouvelle ère de collaboration pragmatique. Une ère qui apportera davantage de prospérité, de stabilité et de sécurité à nos populations. Une ère qui est fondée sur le respect mutuel et le dialogue ouvert. With this visit, Canada and China are launching a new strategic partnership, a partnership focused on 5 areas where we can make significant, immediate gains. And I'll list them in a moment, but I would take very much the Vice Premier's point that we have an opportunity to write new chapters above and beyond these pillars. But our agreement immediately focuses on energy and climate competitiveness, trade, particularly in agriculture and food, multilateralism, security and public safety, and deepening people-to-people ties. We are leveraging our strengths in energy, China's strengths in clean tech, and climate competitiveness. China's strengths, for example, in electric vehicles, are formidable. They're undeniable. These are the most affordable and energy efficient and innovative vehicles in the world. And for Canada to build our own competitive EV sector, we need to learn from, partner with, and access and build supply chains with China. To help deliver on the full potential of these partnerships and to bring down costs for Canadians, we're going to start by allowing up to 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles into the Canadian market at the most favored nation tariff rate, which is 6.1%. This is an agreement that returns shipments to the levels that existed prior to recent frictions, but it's an agreement that promises much more for Canadians. It's expected that within 3 years, this agreement will drive considerable Chinese investment in Canada's auto sector, creating good careers in Canada, accelerating our progress towards a net zero future and the auto industry of the future. It's also expected that with this agreement, within 5 years, more than half of these vehicles will be affordable EVs with an import price of less than $35,000. The second pillar of our strategic partnership aims to increase trade between Canada and China, particularly in agriculture. This room knows, Premier Mo knows, Canada exports more than $7 billion in agricultural products to China each year. China, up until recently, was the largest single market for canola seed. We want to return to those levels, but we really want to surpass them. And that's why I'm pleased that today Canada and China have reached a preliminary but a landmark trade agreement to remove trade barriers and reduce tariffs. By March 1st, Canada expects that China will lower tariffs on Canadian canola seed to a combined rate of approximately 15%. That's a significant drop from the current combined tariff rate of 84%. Furthermore, Canada expects that Canadian canola meal, as well as Canadian lobsters, crabs, and peas, will no longer be subject to relevant anti-discrimination tariffs from March 1st, at least until the end of this year. Now, that's a $7 billion immediate opportunity, as I said. But with this agreement, we also expect, working together, to see the resolution of many long-term trade obstacles on a range of agricultural sectors, from beef to pet food. We expect, building on this, to increase our exports by 50% in this sector by 2030. But our immediate cooperation will be complemented by a new long-term strategy. And at the forefront of that is our new trade roadmap, which aims to expand Canadian investment in China across financial services, energy, materials, aerospace, advanced manufacturing, agriculture, and other fields. And we welcome, Mr. Vice Premier, in this room, we welcome Chinese businesses that plan to significantly scale up their investments in Canada in areas including clean energy, agriculture, consumer products, and beyond. Because by building this new strategic partnership, a strategic partnership for current realities, we're creating the stability and certainty that's needed for new investment and opportunities for our workers. In parallel, as the Vice Premier referenced, Canada and China now have the opportunity to work more closely together to strengthen the world's multilateral institutions. We have the opportunity in the agreement and the framework to work together to combat crime and bolster public safety. And we have the wonderful opportunity to deepen cultural ties across tourism and the creative arts. And I want to take this opportunity again to thank President Xi Jinping for his intention to offer visa-free travel for Canadians to China. We need more of that. Mr. Vice Premier, friends, Canada brings a lot to this partnership. We have much of what the world wants. We're an energy superpower. Domestically, we have an over 80% clean grid, and we plan over the next 15 years to double the size of that grid through major investments in nuclear, in hydro, solar, and wind power. This creates tremendous opportunities for partnerships with China in investments including everything from energy storage to offshore wind. I'll give an example. Our planned power additions include mega projects like Wind West off in Atlantic Canada that can raise up to 60 gigawatts of wind power potential. We also have some of the world's largest reserves of oil and natural gas, and we are developing it in ways to be the lowest carbon. This past July, Canada exported its first LNG shipment to China, a milestone in our growing role as an energy supplier. By 2030, within just 4 years, we expect to produce 50 million tons of LNG each year, all of it destined for Asian markets. By 2040, we plan to double that. More broadly, across the country, across Canada, we are in the process of catalyzing $1 trillion of investment in new ports, in energy corridors, in artificial intelligence infrastructure, and trade infrastructure within the next 5 years. We do that in parallel with the most highly educated workforce in the world, the strongest balance sheet in the G7, the most competitive investment tax regime in the G7, 5 percentage points through the U.S., half the level of the average OECD tax rate. We have the most comprehensive trade arrangements in the world, ranging from the EU to the Trans-Pacific Partnership. And within all of that, we offer stability, scale, opportunity, and now ambition. With the world's leading strengths in advanced manufacturing, clean energy, digital innovation, and sophisticated capital allocation, China is a natural and complementary investment partner. Alors, en cette période où l'ordre précédent est en train de disparaître et où le nouvel ordre n'est pas encore en place, c'est le moment de bâtir, c'est le moment d'agir. Canada and China, yes, we are different countries. We have different systems, histories, and perspectives. We respect those differences. But in a world that's increasingly defined by uncertainty, prosperity will belong to those who engage with strength, with pragmatism, and who can execute. The new strategic partnership between our nations ensures our ties are not remnants of the past, but our ties are the foundations on which we build. Building a partnership that reflects the world as it is, a partnership that's realistic, respectful, and ambitious, that charts a new course that will benefit both our peoples. This is a partnership that leverages our strengths, creates greater stability, security, sustainability, and prosperity. Friends, we've started a new era, a new chapter of our partnership. I invite you to build with us and build together. Build big, build now. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. We'll now have the opportunity to enjoy this